So let's make the easiest no-knead pita bread. Now you can use this pita bread for Greek gyros, or you can just use it to dip into your favorite dips or spreads like tzatziki or hummus. It's so delicious, it's so easy too. All we have to do is essentially combine everything and put it in the fridge overnight. So let's go through some of the ingredients that we're going to be using for this recipe. So to make your Greek pita, we are using a base of wheat flour. I'm just using some all-purpose flour, so it's nice and easy to find. Now for our liquid, we are going ahead and using some plant-based milk. I'm using soy milk today, but you can use any unsweetened plant milk for this recipe. And you just want to make sure that it's lukewarm or room temperature is fine. In addition to that, we're also going to be adding some water. Now today I actually made some Greek vegan yogurt and had some leftover whey. And the water that you catch from straining your yogurt to make the Greek variety, you can use for breads, and it actually gives it a fantastic texture and flavor. So if you want to substitute the water in this recipe for whey, or for our plant-based whey, of course, you can do that. So I'm just going to measure into my plant milk the water measurement that we need. We also have some Greek olive oil, or extra virgin olive oil. Some yeast, of course, and we're just using a very small amount of yeast because we have a longer fermentation process. We have some sugar and some salt, and we're also going to be using some either oregano or thyme. I'm going to add that into my flour. Now let's whisk up all our wet ingredients together, and we're just going to add to our dry. Now you can mix this up with a spoon or with your hands, but I'm using one of these, and this is what's known as a Danish dough hook or a dough whisk, and it just makes your job a bit easier and less messy. So we're just going to mix all of this together until we get a nice batter. We just want to make sure that everything is hydrated. Okay, and that's it. So you just want to now grab yourself a container, and we just want to sprinkle in some olive oil in there and give that a good rub around the edges just so it won't stick. And that dough just goes straight in, no kneading at all. Now this particular pita dough is super soft, and it's going to produce a beautiful fluffy flatbread that will be absolutely delicious. Now we're just going to pop this into the fridge overnight, so tomorrow we can use for our Greek gyros, or as I mentioned, you can use it to dip into spreads and stuff. Well, yeah, it's super easy to make. We're going to pop this into the fridge now and then come back tomorrow and cook up our pitas. I'll see you then. So I have my pita dough. It's been in the fridge overnight, and this was our no-knead pita. So easy to make, and it's already developed our gluten and ready to start cooking. Now today, this will make 4 large pitas or 6 kind of medium-sized ones. I only want to cook 2 of them today, so you can prepare a lot of these components to this recipe separately and then just make them as you need it. The dough will last in the fridge for a few days. So I'm just going to tip the whole thing out, and I'm going to cut it up, just what we need. So I'm just taking half of my dough out. We can put the rest back. So I can pop this back into the fridge and use it tomorrow. Now it is quite a wet and sticky dough. Don't worry too much about that. We're going to use a little bit of flour. So I'm going to cut this in half so we have 2 pitas. And I just want to get this into a ball. So I've just flipped it over, and I'm sort of just tucking all of the sides into the middle. And then we're going to flip that back over and then just roll it into a ball. And we're going to do the same with the other one. So that flat side we're going to flip over and then just tuck the dough into the center. Flip it back over and then into a ball. I'm going to add a little bit of flour. So while we're rolling out our dough, I'm going to get our fry pan on. And you want it sort of at a medium heat. You don't want it too hot. So we'll put a little bit of flour down. We don't want to put tons and tons of flour. And we're just going to roll this out. And to get a nice circle, you want to just sort of start from the middle and then make your way out and turn the dough as you go. If you're getting a lot of resistance from the dough, you can just let it rest for a few minutes and then come back to it. Just making sure it's not sticking. And I'd say it's about a 2 millimeter thickness. Brush with a little bit of olive oil if you would like. So while that one's cooking, I'm going to roll out the next one. And I have a nice big tea towel here that I'm going to put my pita bread inside just to keep it nice and warm and soft. Alrighty, these are looking amazing. So I'm just going to pop that onto our plate here. Put it in our tea towel to keep that nice and warm.